Your name is Brad Phelps. We're gonna fly this L-39 again, or not sure if you're seeing this first or second.
Wait, it's an eagle. Right there.
There's two of them.
Did you hear them?
Whoa, they're fighting.
Or
no.
Not.
Did you see the legs?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I know.
I heard it.
That was cool.
That was really cool. I saw its claws and everything. Okay, well, I guess that was awesome. All right, so we're gonna keep filming. All right, so the L-39, awesome plane. We've already flown it once. We're gonna fly it again. It was a big hurry, and we're hoping to get good times because the wind is lower, but this will be our landing strip. And as you can see, we have a robotic lawnmower potentially on the runway. All right, throttle cuts off, safety's equipped. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna full throttle this thing. It's got tons of power, and this is gonna be launch assist if I'm over 1.5 Gs.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Accidentally hit my, canopy, so I hope it's not gonna pop off on me. So I am in safe right now, so I'm just gonna come around and see what it looks like. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so.
Where do you want me to be?
Up by the grass. Camera crew, over here. There you go, right there. So, guys, remember this is bank and yank. So we made a couple of small adjustments, and I got to turn down my knob just a little bit too much stabilization, I could tell. And one of my biggest complaints with no rudder is that I have to wait on airplanes to make maneuvers. Oh, it's so frustrating. And yet this is such a great plane. Ooh. Man, I got so much expo now, it's nuts. I changed it, hon, you remember?
You did change it.
A lot.
Too much?
I think I might have changed it a little bit too much. It's okay, I can always flip the switch.
Yeah.
But as you can see, this plane, it does really nice. It flies fast. And it's got lots of ups for being, whoa, it's already beeping at me. Just so you know, 3.6 volts is our alarm. And this is a Shorty Pack 2200 from Turnigy. Did it stop?
Yes.
You sure?
Yes.
Okay. So we got bugs on my arm. Sorry, folks. Wanted to give you a shot of this plane coming through and just cruising. I'm just gliding, folks. Hard on the throttle, and then back up. So one thing you might say about this L-39 is that it flies like it's a bigger one. But that's because it has one of the bigger power systems that we've seen in a small L-39. Okay, now, one of the best features of this is the flaperons. Here's takeoff flaps, landing flaps. Check this out. And I still have control of it. It is very unusual to have such reasonably good control of a plane with flaperons, in my experience, guys. Slow flight performance, in my opinion, on planes with flaperons are usually pretty garbagey, okay? But I'm feeling good about this, okay? I can bring it all the way around, no problem. I'm trying to use my rudder that doesn't exist still. Right overhead, you good? Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Hard on the throttle, slipping right over the trees. Here it's beeping at us again. It's all right, this is what I say about your beeping. Full throttle. So 2200 Shorty here from Hobby King. So far, we're doing okay. A little different filming spot for us, so apologies if we have a little growing pains at this spot. And that thing carries so much speed, it's awesome. Yeah, the 20% expo is too much. I need to go to like 15. on the roll. It'll do the rolling still, as you can see. You just got to get that stick moved too far. And then it feels kind of weird to me. There it is. So guys, I might try to land coming toward us this other way.
Okay.
Camera crew, you good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we got landing flaps deployed. Whoa! Okay, so that was a terrible landing, and yet it was still a really fun flight. This plane really keeps you on your toes when you've got that much expo. I feel like I overshot just a little bit. So what I'll do is I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna change it back to. By the way, that was our timer just going off for 5 minutes of flight time. Didn't damage anything, it just popped off the little tip tank. So let's look at this, get in the shade here.
Yep, I can see.
So rates and expo. So on ailerons, we're gonna go down to 15. And then on the top setting, I'm gonna drop that way down to more like 30. Actually, we'll do 25, okay? So that should help quite a bit. We had set it to 20 originally. And on the elevator, I'm gonna go back to 12. And then I'm gonna set this from 30 down to like 20, okay? So it's a little bit more, it's not a huge amount more, but it's enough that it's gonna make a difference. And I think it's not beeping at us, so I'm probably gonna hand launch again.
Okay.
But just wanted to show you that it's not broken or anything. And I do find it weird that we have this beeping fits when you get into a 2200 3S. As you can see, you always wanna keep your tip clean, folks. Let's do that real quick. Let's see, we'll use this, whatever this thing is. Let's clean the tip with that. Okay, very good. So everything looks fine. Got stabbed by whatever that thing is.
Jeez.
Yeah, I know. But the thrust tube on this does a really nice job of really producing some good, clean thrust. And I gotta say, the Safe and AS3X really have this thing feeling nice in the air. Again, AR630, put it back into my middle mode. I'm gonna turn my gains up just a hair on my stabilizer, throttle cuts off, and then down to Safe, because that hand launch assist just makes it really easy. I just hope I have enough power to hand launch this. There you go. Oh yeah, we're golden. Why don't we go to our normal spot there, camera crew?
Okay.
Just kind of, I am relaxing out of throttle. It's not dying. Man, that looks so good. And I am in Safe, just as I get into position here. Being very careful with my power. Okay, now AS3X. Man, that looks good. Give it another 10 minutes, that sunset will be gorgeous, but right now it's just blinding. It's kind of weird. Camera crew by the front edge, please. Good job. That's where I need you. You guys see the overcorrection on the ailerons there? It just gave us a little wiggle at the last correction there. But as you can see, we're doing these nice flat figure eights right over the tree line. I have a feeling this is gonna be the type of plane that's gonna lose its power like instantly. So I don't want to push it too hard. But why is it not beeping?
I don't know.
Oh, it is.
It is.
Okay, here we go. I just want to get one good landing. Okay, take off flaps now. Landing flaps. There we go, out of the flaps. Hey, finally I got a decent landing. See, I can't end on a bad landing. I just can't do it. Because when a plane is easy to land, I don't want to showcase it as like crashing in the ground every time. This has been a fun plane. It's not the easiest or hardest plane we've ever done. Certainly, really, I think it really made this plane more cool having flaperons. It didn't need flaperons to get the job done, but I can tell you what, like just where we fly and the tightness of the space doesn't seem very tight on camera until you guys are out here flying it. I can tell you this, you get hemmed in by the trees because the height of the tree is a little bit taller every year, and you got to get down into the hole so you can get to the ground, okay? So that's why I'm so hard on about doing flaperons and flaps and things like that, is because we've always flown with a lot of obstructions surrounding us. And I suggest that you do it too, because I think it's so much fun. But yeah, in terms of this L-39, is it going to be, you know, replacing, I think I mentioned in the last video, is this going to replace your Viper 90? No. Is it going to replace your Avanti 90? No, not at all. Not even close. Or your 80mm F-16 from E-flite? No. But you know what it's going to do? It's going to do a great job of giving you a fun plane. It's going to be inexpensive. It's not a deep project. You're not going to, you know, we used to call these Hobby King planes project planes. I can tell you this plane has actually been a pretty easy build, okay? So I would suggest if you're interested, get one now because they're gonna sell out quick and they've got a limited run on these, okay? So that being said, there is accessibility to get to the EDF module, which is pretty sweet. And I love that they did that. Not really sure why they made the tail fin go like that, but that's the way they did it. And you can see right there, right down to the ESC, which is pretty sweet. And then this thing does actually go back on. So I love that. You don't see serviceability on this type of plane very often. And I believe it is an 11 or 12 fan EDF. But it does vibrate a lot and it makes a lot of noise, mostly because of that, okay? I don't think it'd be near as noisy if that hatch was glued down. So if it drives you nuts, you can tape it. And then when you're ready to access this hatch to do an afterburner or whatever it is you're gonna do, you just cut it with an X-Acto knife. Similar to what we see on the Ultra Micros all the time. Okay, so also talking about receivers, the AR630 is a perfect fit for this. And yeah, that's the cable management right there.
Yep.
So watch our unbox build radio setup. You can see the full detail of exactly how we got this thing flying, the way it's flying. I don't think it's the best flying or worst flying plane we've ever flown, but it flies good for what it is. And I like that the flaperons actually work. I like that they have carbon fiber reinforcements on here. I like that the elevator is big, although you can see I did bang up the tip of it there. So that's kind of a bummer. I just really don't understand why we don't have rudders in planes like this. It seems like such a minor thing. Like, why don't we have a rudder, okay? It would not add much to the cost on this model, and I'd really like to see a rudder in this size class because this plane deserves to have a rudder. It's a good plane. Now, retracts, I totally understand not having those because look how slender this wing is. Like, where are you going to put the retract? There just isn't anywhere for them.
Yeah.
You'd have to run linkages back to a centrally mounted mechanism, and then you'd have to have them sweep out, and they'd be weak, and, you know, like what they did back in the 80s and 90s. Of course, I wasn't flying at that time. But same thing with the nose gear. There's just not a lot of nose here to put retracts in, okay? Yes, there are some L-39s that have retracts. I'm not saying there aren't, but I will say this. This plane is pure and does what it says it's going to do. It's not like it's out here with fixed gear that look really aggressive and beautiful, and you immediately have to throw them away, like we've seen on some other planes in this echelon, okay? Yeah. Excuse me. I'm just saying, if they're beautiful and you have them on there, it better be able to fly with them. Same thing with ordnance. I have no interest in ordnance if the plane can't handle it flying with its normal recommended battery type. Okay? Right. So 4S 2200 all the way forward, balances right on that CG. You could use a non-squat pack and you wouldn't have to add this little bumpy thing here. That's what we did to help keep it in. And then we have this taped around. We'll show the exhaustive steps in our unbox build radio setup. Speaking of unbox build radio setups, if you guys need help setting up your radio, and I'm not just talking about binding because there's a whole lot more to it than just binding these days, okay? You're in the right place. Brian Phillips RC is here to serve you. We're gonna help get you out of the box, step by step by step until you're flying, okay? We don't leave you high and dry. We do have longer videos as a result. So it does cost us, and just keep in mind that when everybody else is doing a 12-minute video that presents a plane, congratulations, this is what you get, and they cut out all the fluff. We leave the fluff in there because a lot of times the difference between sucky and amazing is fluff, okay? And that's why we do it. Yep. Okay, it's a lot harder to fake it if we leave it all in there. And that's not to say that we haven't ever added clips together, because we do occasionally do that, and we do occasionally try to save on time. I know it doesn't seem like it, but we do.
Every once in a while.
Every once in a while. But L-39, Hobby King, pretty cool. H-King L-39, definitely worth checking out. 64 millimeters of pure adrenaline on 4S 2200. Check out the stubby packs as well. We'll link to both the plane and the stubby pack, and of course the NX series transmitters, as well as the AR630. Yep. Now, keep in mind too, that is an expensive receiver. Do you need a stabilizer on this plane? My suggestion is, yeah, it's already kind of a handful as it is. If you do it and you want flaperons, the AR630 is where it's at, in my opinion. Would it be nice if Spectrum offered a 4-channel with stabilizer? Yeah, it would be nice, because there are occasionally planes that need that. But let's be frank, most of them are 6 or more anymore.
Yeah.
Okay. In fact, we're getting to the point where if it was just 7, we could do like 95% of the planes. Okay.
Yeah, we're going up to 8 a lot.
That's right. And the only time we need that 7th is when thrust reverse isn't through an Avian ESC.
Yes.
Because we have unpluggable channels that we can adapt to and use, and we do on a routine basis.
Yeah.
So just keep in mind, we'll try to wrap this up with a nice bow and then present it to you. You can decide what you want to do with it. If you want to buy this from the links, they're available right now in the video description below. Do not wait. This is a limited run. When they're out, they're gone, okay?
Yep.
They got a special from the factory and they're going to be gone, okay? My suggestion to Hobby King is if they sell well and people want them, just get another special from the same factory. It does not seem like rocket science to me, but they didn't ask my opinion, and China does what China does. So here we are to tell you our take on it. Any questions, leave them in the comments below. Not sure what order you're seeing these videos, if there's another flight to come, or if you've already seen the other flight. But one way or another, we want to encourage you to check out Hobby King. They've been doing a good job, and they've actually been releasing planes right now, which is really nice. We have not seen many other manufacturers actually releasing planes right now, largely because of the tariffs and all sorts of complexity. We understand the world markets are complicated right now, but if I can get that thing during the middle of that mess,
Yep.
then they can get this thing during the middle of the mess, okay? So stay tuned. So much more from Brian Phillips RC. Click the bell for notifications when you subscribe. Buy them from the links or support us in other ways if you'd like. We have Patreon for monthly support, PayPal for one-time donations, YouTube Super Thanks for one-time, and YouTube members for monthly. Lots of different ways, or a P.O. box. If you need to send us something, just let us know if you're going to do it so we know to look for it. That's all we got for you. Keep them coming, Hobby King. Come back for more. All right, YouTube. So this L-39, I noticed it was rolling really quick. And so what I want to do is I want to go into, or it was a little bit overcorrected. And so there's two things I want to do. I want to go into forward programming, gyro settings, AS3X settings, AS3X gains, and I want to change my roll rate down to like 30, okay? The other two didn't seem to be a problem, but you guys saw, and I'm not sure if you actually saw this, but there was a couple of times under full throttle that we had on oscillation. It was mostly on the roll axis. So that should help. And then also what I want to do is I want to go into my servo, excuse me, not my servo setup, but rates and expo. And on ailerons, I want to go from middle setting at 10. Let's go ahead and set it to 20. That might be too much, but I'm just going to start and kind of aim for the stars, okay? You see how I did that? So now I have this low setting. We'll go ahead and leave the low setting low. And what we're going to do is we're going to set the elevator to 15, and we're going to set this to 30. Goodness gracious, sorry, my scrolly wheel is having a connection fit here. You guys already know I've struggled with that a little bit. I got to clean it again. Okay. And then we're going to go to the rudder. Ah, there isn't one. So we'll leave that the same. So that was basically the roll gains are going to be down. Now I'm not going to change the position that we have this set. It was just below half, okay? And that's where I like to take off. And if we have a calm night, we may not need much stabilization at all. And if we have a really windy night, we're gonna have a lot more stabilization, okay? So at the end of the day, we want you to see all the adjustments that we make so you can copy along. Because if you're watching an exhaustive unboxed build radio setup, we want you to know how to apply the same changes that we've used. Also, we felt like our flaps worked really nice, so we're not gonna mess with those. But remember, if you go from flaperons to spoilerons, all you need to do is click and scroll down into flap system, and you want to reverse your elevator correction so it's going the other way, and you want to reverse the flaps so they go the other way, and then they'll basically go the other direction. Now ironically, this will need to also be in, or it's going to do the opposite function. So a lot of times when you deploy flaperons, it makes your nose point down, and you have to counter it with a little up elevator. Okay, it doesn't just change the angle of attack, it actually points you down with an outboard aileron, okay? But if you have spoilerons where they go up together and still continue to act also as ailerons, you're gonna find that it's gonna change the angle of it's gonna go up a little bit, which is weird. So it works really nice for landing these things because you're belly landing, okay? But I have been really happy with the way the flaperons work on this. So we'll leave it the way it is. All right, guys, flight next. Thanks for watching. If you have questions, leave them down in the comments below. We'll do our best to answer you. YouTube, it's Brian Phillips. We have the all-new L-39 from Hobby King, H-King, I should say. And yes, this is a 64 millimeter EDF, which looks pretty sweet, but it is also a limited run. So if you want one, make sure you order it ASAP, because when they're gone, they're gone. AR-630 equipped, 2200 4S, 30C pack, and I did put a voltage alarm set to 3.6 volts. Easy to launch from here, I think, but just so you know, we do also have the ability to launch here or here. There is a nice skid pad. Worst part of the model is this color is terrible on this. This matched perfect, this one didn't. I wonder if they forgot a decal. Either way, I think I'm gonna launch here, and I'm just gonna let it go like this. Throttle cuts off, down into safe mode. Everything has been tested at full throttle. For about 3 seconds, we'll have hand launch assist. This should make it pretty smooth. We'll find out. Oh yeah, super easy, guys.
Nice.
Okay, now out of safe, whoa. That EDF is noisy, but it's pushing a lot of air. Guys, that it is like really locked in, almost like more than it should be. Now remember, I don't have a rudder, so I'm just like struggling to remember that. That's 50% throttle, tons of power. It's a rocket ship, guys. 30% throttle right there. Takeoff flaps. Ooh, yeah, we got that good. Okay, out of the flaps. A little hard to see with the clouds. Hope that's not a problem for you guys on camera. Now takeoff flaps, now landing flaps. Oh yeah, we did flaperons and it actually worked. Awesome, guys. So cool. Just so you know, I did a mix so that I can use either stick to roll the airplane. And yes, I am flying around with flaperons on an L-39. Oh, that is so good. It actually works. Get out of the flaps hard on the throttle. It screams, it's very obnoxious. And tons of elevator authority. But yet it doesn't feel completely insane. Man, it looks good doing it too. Super surprised by how controllable it is, given that there's no rudder. Generally, on a plane like this, I really complain a lot about not having a rudder, but this being a limited engagement, I guess I'm probably not gonna make super huge stink of it. And I gotta say, the 64 really is tons of power, guys, tons of power. Did I see a little slip at the end? That was sweet.
I don't know. Something.
I'm like at like sub 50% on the throttle. Normally we do not have near the power on this. Whoa, finally found the limit. You guys see the oscillation there? Turn down my rotary knob just a hair. AS3X Plus equipped in this AR-630. And so that means we do have safe. So now safe is on. As you can see, we're cruising around. Take off flaps now. Now landing flaps. Check this out. Even with safe and spoilers, excuse me, not spoilers, but flaperons. Flaperons working very good, I must say. Feels like I have a rudder because I mixed in both the rudder stick, which would be the throttle stick, and the ailerons. And even with a 90% deployment on those ailerons, still getting good roll authority and yaw authority, even though I don't have any yaw authority to be spoken of. And yes, Serena is starting. Okay, out of flaps, out of safe. We'll just jank it up here and do some more intense flying here for just a few minutes till the battery dies. Could use a little bit more expo than my standard 10% to start. And I gotta say, really a fun plane. If you guys want something that's inexpensive, that's gonna get the job done, I would highly recommend this. And this might be one of those planes that you get, you just fly it for a little bit until you blow it in a million pieces by running into a tree or something. And then you take the AR-630 out and you put it in your next awesome fun project. because I could definitely say most of you are probably thinking, I don't think I'm gonna put a 630 in that plane, but I do want it. I would not necessarily disagree with you, but I'm gonna just tell you this right now, the stabilizer is working a lot. Man, really like the colors, but I was thinking it was gonna disappear something fierce today.
Yeah, it's not too bad,
but those
actually.
wing tip tanks have really helped. Oop, finally getting a beep. Okay, so I am at 3.6, so I should be able to land. I'm gonna try to land coming toward us just for ease of visibility. Okay, take off flaps. Now getting into landing flaps. Gonna really limit my authority. Okay, wingtips are magnetically attached. Yeah, it was really easy to slow that thing down.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good flight time. We got about 5 minutes on it and not pushing it hard. 3.6, and it's only in 3.6 under throttle. But I gotta say, not too bad. Hobby King, and we're starting to rain, so we're gonna go under the cover of the building here for a minute. I gotta say, one of my favorite parts of doing this hobby is when you get a fun plane that's not gonna cost a fortune, and it's gonna do everything it said it was gonna do, okay? This thing is definitely like what we've seen from other L-39s in this size class. Now, is it gonna be replacing your Viper 90? No.
No.
Is it gonna replace your Avanti 90? Definitely not. But it is something fun. Throw it in the car or truck, take it with you on the go. 3.8 volts, yeah, 3.8 volts. And this 2200 4S is so small and super nice. We'll show all the details of exactly how we got this thing flying. And I think it flew pretty darn tootin'. Yeah, you could do more stuff to it if you wanted to. I didn't even explore spoiler-ons, but I don't think you need to. I think the flapper-ons work really good. And guys, if you couldn't tell by those passes, look how much deflection we have here. And that thing was going around no problem. And see, because we still have quite a bit of deflection available, it was still able to not totally lose the feel of controllability. With flapper-ons, a lot of times you lose the control of feelability you lose the feel of controllability, and it's very disconcerting, especially when you lose a rudder, okay? Because we have no rudder on this, it's just basically a vertical stabilizer, and I think it does the job okay. Now, that being said, this is not everything to everybody. It doesn't have landing gear, it doesn't have retracts, it doesn't even come with fixed gear, guys. But I gotta say, it does what it does, and it does it well. So what's wrong with that? So there you have it, guys. Check it out. Links in the video description below. Get one now if you want one. Limited engagement. They're not gonna be around for long. They got a special from the factory or something like that. So check it out. And I gotta say, I kind of hope they sell really well and they get another special from the factory, because this is a pretty nice plane. And by the way, if you're watching this video and you're saying, hey, I wanna set up an AR-630 on a similar bank and yank sort of style plane, you can follow along. We'll show you all the steps. Just remember, if you want to do spoiler-ons instead of flapper-ons, where they go up instead of down, like flapper-ons would go down, then all you have to do is just change the flap mode setting, and you can follow along there, okay? Hopefully I answered all those questions. Buy one from the link. You'll help support Brian Phillips RC. But otherwise, if you decide you want to do something different, like support us with Patreon membership, monthly support, YouTube members, monthly support as well, YouTube super thanks for one-time donations, or PayPal, if you don't want to be part of those groups, we totally appreciate it, and that's an option for you. But if you can't find what you want in this plane, check out brianphillipsrc.com or head over to bprc.me, and you can see our website, same place, short link. You can compare and contrast this plane up against other L-39s we've done in the past, or similar small EDF jets. I gotta say, this thing is a powerhouse. It's got tons of power, but it's also a little bit less refined than what we've seen from some of the latest and greatest from Hobby King. So I gotta say, Hobby King has been putting out some good planes, and we've been very impressed. This was not the project plane I expected it to be. It actually went together fantastic, but you do need China glue or some suitable alternative. So also bprc.me/supplies. Check it out right now, get your glues, and you'll help support Brian Phillips RC. So thanks for watching, guys. Any questions, leave them in the comments below. We'll do our best to get back to you. and we really appreciate you watching here on Brian Phillips RC. NX10 has been great. I wanted to get out of the rain so as to avoid getting water in my scrolly wheel, even though we're out of model memory. All right, stay tuned. So much more right around the corner. Don't forget to smash the like button and click the bell for notifications. If you haven't already, when you do subscribe, we'd love to have you back. Thanks for watching.